You're watching Good Day Siouxland with Nick Wilson, Avia Hannon, and meteorologist Maggie Warren. From KCAU 9 News, this is Good Day Siouxland.
Well, good morning. It's 6:45 this Thursday morning. I'm Nick Wilson.
I'm Avia Hannon.
And I'm Maggie Warren.
And pretty decent weather conditions so far.
Yeah, we're continuing to see that dry weather, that very nice weather, but dry. That drought monitor is still showing some abnormally dry conditions out through westernmost portions of Siouxland. Now, this isn't the most current update yet. That comes in a little later this morning, so we'll have that on the midday show with that update. Whether we see some change or not, whether it's just another week that it remains in place out there through parts of Knox County, which wouldn't surprise me. We have only seen about 64% of our normal rainfall here in Sioux City for the past 30 days. 76% of that in Bloomfield, and those deficits carrying over into those areas where we're continuing to see abnormally dry conditions, and we continue to see those chipping away at our yearly surplus of rainfall as well. Most areas under about 120% or so of that normal rainfall, even under 150% as well. Some areas even below 100%. I'll let you know if we see any more rain chances coming up in a check your forecast. Avia?
Well, the school year is well underway at Siouxland Christian Middle and High School, where students and staff are enjoying the new secondary school building. The first phase of the school's expansion included the renovation of the former Dunham Sporting Goods store on Gordon Drive. The 32,000 square foot space is now home to students in grades 7 through 12.
There's a lot of great things of having everybody under one roof, but there's also something to say about an elementary building being an elementary building and a secondary building being a secondary building. And the one thing we're being really intentional about just with our school culture is that we're not building silos, that there's still a lot of collaboration between buildings, and that the Siouxland Christian experience is going to be the same elementary through graduation.
There was some concern the new building wouldn't be ready in time for the first day of school, but they made it work.
There for sure was a worry, and I think helping the 4-day move back was really helpful for us to be able to start right away. But yeah, there was for sure a worry, and there was even a few things where we were like, okay, we're not quite ready, but we're going to start anyway. We're going to make do with what we have.
The $11 million expansion project still has 3 more phases to complete. Phase 2 will include new construction at the school site. However, a timeline is still to be determined.
All right, it's Thursday morning, so that means it's time for Celebrating the Nines.
We have a few number 9 birthdays to celebrate this week, so let's get it started.
First up is Betty Colmoose, who turned 96 back on September 2nd. Happy belated birthday.
And next up is Charlotte, who turned 9 on September 6th. And just a few days later on September 9th, Maya also turned 9. Congrats on the triple nines there, Maya.
And last but not least, our winner this week is Gracie, who's also rocking the triple nines, turning 9 on September 9th. She's won a $25 gift card to Pizza Ranch. Congratulations to Gracie, and happy birthdays all around.
And remember, if you want to celebrate your nines with us, it's easy. Just go to SiouxlandProud.com and click on Celebrate the Nines under the contest tab to enter by Tuesdays at noon.
Well, sure hope Gracie enjoys that prize. What better way to celebrate your birthday than with pizza?
I can't think of a better way than pizza.
Yeah, some triple nines and even a 90, was it 96? 93?
Yeah.
I think so. That's pretty
90s,
impressive.
yeah.
I hope to make it that long.
Me too.
Well, now it's time to meet today's Stray of the Day.
And every day we share a pet picked up by Sioux City Animal Adoption and Rescue who's weaned to go home, or in this case, 2 of them.
That's right, and these are Fuji and Flynn. They're both 6 to 9 month old husky mixes that weigh about 40 pounds now, but will likely grow to be over 80 pounds. They were found on the 2700 block of 41st Street, and the rescue says they're smart, sweet, and gentle dogs that love people and other animals. They would love to find a home together, but can be adopted separately. Fuji and Flynn are available for adoption now.
And if you lost your pet, you're looking to adopt, or you'd like to sponsor a pet for adoption, you can visit the rescue's website. Go to SiouxCityAnimalRescue.com. Well, it's been a little while since we featured some Double Trouble here on the Stray of the Day, but Fuji and Flynn, they sure look like nice dogs.
Absolutely, they do sure look like the cutest, so I'm hoping they get adopted together so they can stick around.
Yeah, that would be ideal. Also seeing some ideal weather today too. We see a gorgeous sunrise out there, some beautiful hues of kind of pinks and some lighter oranges there as we do continue to watch the sunrise on this Thursday morning. Some areas of patchy fog, but the visibility is good in most spots this morning. Not quite as foggy as it was yesterday. Temperatures sitting in those low and mid 60s, 61 in Cherokee, 58 in Ida Grove, and a 60 in Sioux City. Meanwhile, 63 there in Vermilion, with dew points also in the upper 50s and low 60s. So not quite at saturation levels, but still a little on the humid side. We continue to see wind speeds that are flowing in from the east and southeast at about 5 to as high as 10 miles an hour there in Orange City. We do have a frontal boundary stalled to our south and to our west, keeping any precipitation and cloud cover out to our west as well. We do see that start to move a little bit more as we head through our afternoon, so we get a little bit more cloud cover in. Seeing some more clearing though as we head into the afternoon and evening hours tonight. A few patchy clouds as we head into Friday morning, and then really filling those in towards daybreak tomorrow with some spotty shower and even maybe a rumble of thunder possible as a warm front lifts through. That's going to rise those temperatures to those midsummer levels into the upper 80s. We do see very warm air inbound for the weekend behind that, and then we see a cold front setting up behind that for later into the weekend. For today, 85 degrees, partly cloudy, warm and breezy for us. We see temperatures into the upper 80s for Friday, low 90s Saturday, and then falling back to the mid 80s for Sunday with showers and that cold front passing through. We hover in the mid 80s for Monday and Tuesday before we drop off into the low 80s for Wednesday. Some more shower chances with another cold front and temperatures back into the mid 70s. So not quite going to feel like football weather this week, but maybe for next week, Nick.
All right, now we turn to sports where there's more collegiate volleyball action to share. Anthony Mitchell has our highlights right here in your morning sports wrap.
Good morning, Siouxland. GPAC play officially underway last night for women's volleyball, kicking off the conference slate with the Morningside Mustangs hosting Briarcliff. Chargers in search of its first road win of the season. Mustangs entering the night on a 5-match win streak. Opening set, Morningside's Kyla Drystad with a serve. Chargers can't handle the bump. Ace for Drystad puts the Mustangs up 3-zip early, but the Chargers pony up. Brooklyn Voss with a big kill, and then right after that, a big block, and just like that, Briarcliff pulls back to within 1. Jump ahead a bit in the set here. Morningside up by a pair. Great save by Emma Heron. Peyton Lodi unloads with a kill. Morningside takes set 1 25-19. They hold off Briarcliff 3-1. Up in Orange City at the Bultman Center, home of the Northwestern Red Raiders, NWC has swept Dakota Wesleyan in its last 4 meetings, aiming to make it 5 in a row here. Dak West in control early. Olivia Buras with a kill. Tigers start the match on a 6-2 run. Northwestern somehow able to keep this one off the ground. Tigers able to put it back over the net with a response. But how about Aubrey DeGroot here of Northwestern coming up with a kill? One of plenty of Red Raiders points here to get the momentum swinging back to the home team, and the Northwestern squad's going to keep it rolling here. Xavier Metzger coming up with a big time block, one of her 7 on the night. Northwestern wins set 1 25-19. Red Raiders record the sweep in straight sets. How about more GPAC play, this time on the pitch? Briarcliff women's soccer hosting Dakota State. Trojans up 1-0 in the first half, 40th minute. Sadie Jones throws a shot on goal, gets some help from the crossbar, and goes in. Her first career goal ties the match at 1 apiece. Just over a minute later, this time it's Tamsin Hilton through the dust and through the goalkeeper. Count it. Chargers take a 2-1 lead at half. Briarcliff adds 2 more after the break to win it 4-1. And finally, an out-of-town score from last night. The Sioux City Musketeers picked up its first preseason win of the year with a 3-2 victory at Omaha in overtime. Elias Vatney broke the 2-2 tie in OT, his first goal as a Musketeer. Sioux City continues its preseason slate at home on Friday against Tri-City, its final test ahead of the USHL Fall Classic in Pennsylvania next week. That's your look at sports. Have a good day, Siouxland.
All right, now let's take a look at this morning's top stories.
What you need to know before you go.
There's a local opportunity for people who want to gather in remembrance of the 9/11 terrorist attacks that took place 24 years ago today. A remembrance ceremony will be held across from the Freedom Park in South Sioux City at 7 p.m. The service will honor and remember the victims of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. The public is encouraged to attend. The service will also include a dignified retirement and disposal ceremony for old and damaged American flags. Now, if you want to provide flags for the ceremony, drop them off at the Dakota County American Legion VFW post, the South Sioux City Police or fire stations, the Dakota County Sheriff's Office, or Dakota County Emergency Management by 10 a.m.
And one person has died following a fatal crash in Calhoun County. According to the Iowa State Patrol, yesterday morning, a pickup truck was traveling on Fletcher Avenue approaching US 20. The driver failed to stop at a stop sign and was hit by a semi-truck traveling east on US 20. The juvenile driver of the pickup truck was not wearing a seatbelt and died as a result of the crash. Crash reports note that there was dense fog in the area at the time.
Back in the Metro now, Woodbury County Supervisor Matthew Ung has shared some input on how he thinks the county should move forward with selecting representatives for the upcoming legal mediation. Now, earlier this week, LEC Authority member Ron Wick was appointed to serve as the authority's representative in that process. Now, fellow Authority member Mark Nelson shared concern with that decision. Nelson expressed that he wanted to fill that role because he's the only option who was directly elected by voters. Last night, Ung issued an open letter. He suggested the county should replace Nelson on the LEC Authority with County Supervisor Dave Dietrich, and then appoint Nelson to represent the county during mediation. He adds, after the mediation process is complete, Nelson could potentially be reappointed to the authority. This comes as the county is involved in pending litigation with the general contractor behind the new county jail. The mediation process is expected to begin by the end of the year.
And September marks Hunger Action Month, and the Food Bank of Siouxland is showcasing the ways they combat food insecurity in the community. In Iowa, food insecurity is an issue that impacts 1 in 9 adults and 1 in 5 kids. This year, the Food Bank decided to hold tours so residents can learn more about what they offer and all the work that goes into providing food for our neighbors in need.
During the month of September, we try to do a lot of community-facing events that will help to provide advocacy and understanding and education on food insecurity and how our community can work together to make sure that no one has to go to bed hungry.
The Food Bank will host another guided tour of their facility on September 16th at 3:30 p.m.
Well, finally, don't forget, Sioux City's Special Olympics Iowa 2025 Tip a Cop event will take place at Texas Roadhouse this evening. Local law enforcement officers will serve customers from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Sargent Road location. If you stop by, you can donate 10% of the cost of your meal. You just need to mention Tip a Cop or Special Olympics. Sioux City Police will also be in the parking lot collecting donations through a Cover the Cruiser event. Tonight's fundraising goal is $6,000. Well, one last check on that weather. Really not too bad conditions for today.
Yeah, it's going to be a fairly decent day. Temperatures into those mid-80s, partly cloudy, warm, and breezy. We do see a little bit of hazy sunshine with some wildfire smoke in place, but shouldn't make it too close to the surface, so limited to no impact expected. At surface levels, we do see winds out of the southeast, 5 to 15 miles an hour, so a bit breezy. And then we see 89 for Friday, plenty of sunshine for Friday as well before clouds on the increase into our Friday evening and Saturday. 91 degrees for Saturday, possibly 84 for Sunday, 84 for Monday. We see a cold front sweeping through Sunday that brings some shower chances, and then Tuesday looking at some more clouds on the increase again. Temperatures cooling off with another cold front Wednesday and into Thursday of next week. Back into the mid-70s and low 80s for us.
Yeah, going to feel a bit cooler a week from today.
For sure.
We'll have to get used to that.
Absolutely. I'm going to enjoy the warm weather while it's here, though.
There you go. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.